recording. Okay. Jenny, thank you for this. I know this is you've had all of 30 seconds to prepare the answers to these questions I've already just shared with you. So if we just basically spend some time now reflecting on your e-learning journey this year, and we'll look to explore various aspects of it. So I guess the first question is how has e-learning impacted upon your teaching pedagogy this year?
I think it's changed in that you sort of have to take a step back, and so now that I realise, oh yes, I can aim to do this e-learning or this sort of topic or this program within the class, and knowing that actually you just have to start the children off and then they can do it. So it's about giving them that little starter and then their experimentation and their growing independence, which is one thing that took me a while to step back away from. So knowing, first of all, that and they're not going to break the computers if they do something wrong.
So would you say then you've diminished control?
A little bit.
Yes.
More than I thought I would, because I remember talking to you earlier in the year and you said just let them have a go at this, and I thought, oh, you're good, and I was thinking no. But,
yeah, that's honest.
And I did it, and it's fine, and they are great teachers for each other as well. So.
But this is an interesting question. Why do you think, and you're not alone in this, why do you think teachers find it so difficult when it comes to something like e-learning to let go? To relinquish control, really, I guess is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think partly some of it is as simple as thinking that they might break something or do something that can't be repaired or can't be fixed or will end up in the wrong place. And I mean, even for me, I sometimes still look at something pops up on the computer and I don't know, do I click OK? So there are still things that happens, just sort of fixing the...
But is that fear gone, though, do you think? That reticence?
I think so.
Yeah, or diminished, certainly.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that in mind then, so what have been some notable e-learning successes for yourself or for the students this year?
I think the wiki, because when I looked at that first, I just thought, even for me, the first practice of it, and I was thinking, oh, this is, quite hard, or, I can do a little bit just for me, but then saying, okay, I'll transfer this knowledge to the children and for them to pick it up and go with it independently. And I found I started the wiki and then left it for a while, and then of course all that knowledge, I'd forgotten all of that, and then coming back to it and going, oh yeah, I'll experiment with it as well, and then letting the children take over, and the children have put, I come in after the weekend and they say, Jenny, I put this on the wiki in the weekend. It's like, let's have a look. Oh, yes. And they've deleted someone else's work, but that's okay because theirs is theirs.
Yeah, we can get that back. But for the record, how old are your students?
6 and 7.
So you said a key word in your just there is independently, and they're definitely using this stuff independently?
A lot of them are. Some of them are still either don't have the interest in doing it. Like actually I said, right, well who wants to use the wiki but isn't confident knowing how, and quite a few are like that. And I said, well, who's not really interested at the moment in using the wiki? And there's still a small proportion there as well. And I do have the same children who are adding all the information on, and but then they're the ones who are the teachers as well. So
it's interesting. I was working with a new entrant teacher last week, and she says, or she claims, and we're going to explore it further next year, she claims that the students who are not engaging with the e-learning are actually not developing as fast as the kids that do, which it's anecdotal, but it's definitely worth exploring a bit more on that.
Yeah, and I do have a lot who are, and I guess it's depending on the content of wiki, for example, because I have some children who don't put their own bits and pieces onto it, but are happy to use it and going on to other classes pages as well. So I think it's sort of gaining, developing that interest as well. And then if they've seen, oh, this is, this program I like looking at on that wiki, we'll try and put it onto our wiki so we can run it there.
So what changes have you had to make to your classroom management to include the computers in your classroom integrate it into your, daily practice?
Having them on in the mornings, and when kids say, can I do this, actually saying yes, even though normally I'm like, no, we're doing this. But I still do believe I do need to implement it, integrate it more into the curriculum.
So that's growth for next year.
Exactly, and I'm completely aware of that. It is still a bit of an extra rather than...
Okay, so I guess this ties into what challenges have you had to overcome or are overcoming to ensure e-learning success in 2010. I guess integration would be the big one for you then.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And also using it more with groups rather than it's either individuals or whole class. So and having a program where children can work with the programs within a group and not have the others having it such a novelty that they're staring at it as well, because they know it's their time later in the day or tomorrow, or they know that that's not what that group's doing, but they'll get a chance.
Cool. Okay. So what has been the impact on student learning as a result of the e-learning you've done this year? Have you seen any?
It's quite interesting because I haven't had the experts wall up, but they know who to go to, and they know, and they're good teachers. They're happy to teach each other. And when those children are confident, they're happy to, to tell the others how to do so. I mean, even at the beginning of the year, it started off showing them how to correctly shut down the computer. But it's still an important thing to know how to do. So, the fact that they're not afraid of anything, really, and if they're not sure what to do, they'll just say, "Oh, Jenny, I've forgotten how to get," like for example, putting their Wordles on, what to do after you've written your word and where to save it and things. So just they ask when they're not sure, and they know the right questions to ask as well, so they know what they want to do next, so they know where they want it to go.
So the tools are facilitating rather than hindering their learning?
Yeah, definitely.
So have there been any unintended outcomes in student learning as a result of that you've not foreseen?
I think part of that extra independence that I wasn't expecting, and teaching each other, and sometimes you can just say, "Oh, why don't you ask such and such," and off they go, and then you see a few minutes later they're working on it together, and it's not I'll do it for you, it's an I'll show you what to do, or I'll tell you what to do and you can do it yourself, which is quite
that's empowering, actually, isn't it?
Definitely, because not all the time, but to a certain extent they aren't taking over, they are letting them just give it a go.
So it's the very last week of term,
Yep.
so we're already thinking towards next year already.
Yes.
So how would you start off next year differently from say the way you did this year to get your kids up to speed?
I think I will take away the who wants to do this. It'll be more about actually, right, your group's doing this or you're doing this, so that they're using the equipment and using programs and things just normally.
And you sort of build it into your rotation then?
Yeah, and it won't be okay, right, whose turn is it on the computer today? Who's not had a go? It'll be actually this is this group or this person. So I think just, building it into that, making it more, I'll be finding more internet tools and things that I haven't done a lot of those, and just knowing it's available, because there's more available than I could ever even imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's brilliant. Thanks very much.